1198. This is the most critical, revolutionary, disruptive solution in world history. Pay attention that we control all leaders around the world. I am your number one world leader, Keith Brent Duncan. This is the solution everyone's been looking for 6,600 years of we liberate ourselves, we control all decisions, we control all leaders. Number 1198, Built by Keith. Pay attention. We're reporting live from mission control of Gods uNIocracy.org, which is the perfected no-crime utopia that we procreated in 1976 when we were at North Carolina State University in Raleigh. We are the most prolific masters of all expertises of every trade. Name the world problem, and we have already personally solved it and prevented it and reversed it worldwide. So that now the entire world will be only middle class, only positive net worth. You'll still have lower middle class and high middle class, but you will have no criminal ruling elite. There will be no poverty, no wars, no taxes. Here's the most critical. No more day trading, no more stock options, no more manipulation of the market, because every time the criminal ruling elite, mostly Wall Street and the banker industry and the military-industrial complex, every time they make a news event and they spin the news, the market goes up and down. No one can explain the most rapid increase in the pricing and inflation and the devaluation of your basic $1 of earning power in world history except myself. It's all based upon Lucifers, antichrists, brokers, criminal ruling elite. I keep using that same exact word, which is accurate. It's the cyber terrorists like Robert D. Rose. It is the President Putin's who claims he's a Christian, but most people who claim they're Christian or that they are religiously adhering to their own theology are not connected with my Father God in heaven, who happens to be here on earth. Have you figured that out yet? No, because you're too busy scamming each other using devil's advocate of they would never allow their authority to be taken away. Well, who is they? And who gave them authority in the first place? It happened to be you. Because God created every single one of you to answer the top 5 questions on the top of uNIocracy.org and Evote.one. And this is one of our finest credentials. You'll find that drkeith.org, and there's our direct phone number, is how to reverse any addiction in the world. We've been using the most powerful common sense technology in world history to reverse the warlords. It's always about mortal man causing every single problem in the world, because wars and mass poverty and drug abuse and human trafficking, all these horrible, horrible vice, sin, and crimes are what's causing the demise, holocaust, apocalypse of WorldWar4.org. So here it is. Read this carefully and understand that with my system of Fortune1.org, and the whole focus is uNIocracy, we are the number one overseers. Our company is worth excess of $40 billion based upon our patents and copyright and trademarks and branded educational systems. And we'll show that with called the Metaphysics.Foundation, which is also .org, that we the people live under one ruler, which is God. No more no world order. No more of these people can manipulate. And all of our leaders are now highly paid cash managers. And the very basics is this. It's a book that we published starting really 1976 called Team Money machine.org and .com. This is based out of Peachtree Road United Methodist Church, and our current church is Oak Grove United Methodist Church. Call Josh Miles, there's all his contact information, and literally send everyone to the single international constitution that removes and destroys every single one of the existing man-made laws, and it replaces every constitution in the world, and it's right there. SolutionManifesto.com, God's Constitution. You'll find that it already has an ISBN number on Amazon, and it's all based on what's in yellow. Pay attention. You click away, you'll be destroying yourself. Literally. All the leaders are highly paid project managers, and solutionpeace.org describes it. And the current multi-level marketing Ponzi scheme has been commercialized and legalized because there's no crime that's actually illegal anymore. Because every single judge and lawyer that I've ever met, DuncanClaim.org, is worth $500 million US. But nobody will sign it because no one has the guts to sit down and talk with us about how Robert Rose, cybercrime international terrorist, used a cancel restraining order and a non-valid restraining order to force us into jail on a $500 bond, 2.5 years, 900 days. And then everybody else destroyed the court documents after they had sold off Fortune1.org, which is worth $40 billion. Anyone's estimation, in fact, anyone's direct appraisal, will see that we're the biggest merger acquisition firm, legal firm, financial banking firm, trade, supply chain experts in world history, with no exception. We've already solved the energy problem, the water, the land, the trade, the transportation, the education, the spiritual realm. That's the entire economy. Everything else is a want. And all the people that play devil's advocate is, what's in it for me? So we've addressed that one question. You're now going to be able to run your own small business, and you'll have people that actually are producers working with you as profitshareholders.com. And the one that'll really flip your lid, literally flip your mindset, is 5steps.life, which is a simple paper-based. Step number 1 is a blank sheet of paper. Step number 2 is to write out your problem. Number 3 is to write out your solution. And you get rid of all your problems by dumping it, mind mapping on paper. It cannot be any simpler. A 3-year-old can do this better than most of the people we've talked to. Because remember, you're not born a sinner. It's the greatest lies of all time. Just trust them. Just trust God. Just pray about it harder. Those are the prosperity zealot charlatans, and that's the only reason Jesus Christ was tortured and murdered. He didn't invite himself. Nobody would support him because the Jewish people in Jerusalem were asking that he replace all of the temple priests, the Jewish priests and rabbis. And of course they got madder than hell because Jesus Christ overturned their tables. The Roman Empire loved him. In fact, everybody loved him except the Jewish priests because they had an ironclad rule over the people, asking them to give them money and funding and money as indulgences to buy their sins so that God would forgive them of their sins and they would now be guaranteed to go into heaven. Greatest lies of all time. And the issue is you have no one that you can truly trust. I've been going through hell, DuncanClaim.org, because no one wants to look at the canceled Cobb County, Georgia restraining order that was canceled July 15th, 2011. I have photographic memory. Almost perfect. And that was 11.1.1171. And it goes all the way back to Marietta Police Department report, most critical of all, 2506. I'm physically robbed by Robert D. Rose and Miss Bashama, and they file TPOs against me by paying off the police in Marietta and Cobb County. So we're taking down, with your help, of course, any corrupt individual, whether they be a federal judge, a state judge, Supreme Court justice, a president. Anybody will now be put on the stand with solutionmanifesto.com. All the other solutions are very, very clear to see, are pure, raw common sense and application of God's 10, actually 11 commandments. Everyone wins. We'd love to make these short, but it's near impossible. I'm flying out to Los Angeles and Las Vegas on Monday, November the 20th. Anyone can call my teams, very, very wealthy corporate executives and people that are actually promise keepers and peacemakers of PeaceSummit2020.com, which is the absolute total answer of using Evote.one. You decide your own reality. You pick who any leader is that's using the people's assets, and we're going to seize half of the net worth of the world, that's called pirated assets, from the underground criminals like Robert D. Rose, Judge Jackson, Raymond Asshold Jackson of Norfolk, Virginia, 411 CR 112, infamy, worst case of kidnapping, prosecution, persecution is what it was about. They couldn't prosecute me for anything because I didn't violate anybody's rights, because I work with God. And if you have an issue with that, you're required to take it up with my Father God. We're no longer going to have judge trials. We're going to have all judge and jury, judge-mediated hearings and jury trials where you vote on whether anybody is innocent or guilty, but you're going to have to identify who you are with a single international ID at FOIA.ONE, which is also truth1.org. Everyone will use and pay my companies around $40 billion to use all of our patents, copyrights, and the most prolific system of stabilizing the economy so that your community is totally independent of every other community. Birds of a feather flock together. And all the videos are on youtube.com/uNIocracy, UNIOCRACY, and you'll find everything, one word, Built by Keith. We're hiring everybody we can, thousands of problem-solving corporate executives to own and run and control more than 100 non-government organizations as we provide all the funding. We're doing mergers and acquisitions now to buy out all distressed companies and properties and do massive redevelopment in the mountains and Piedmonts all over the world. So we unload the biggest mass migration of people away from the biggest cities in the world, which are all congested, and that's where the slums are located, to the mountain areas, which is God's mountains. So yes, we are mission control of uNIocracy.org, because no one else we have ever found since January 15th, 2008 is using any common sense. They're all greedy, greedy, greedy. We call them walking dead zombies. And they're addicted to greed, arrogance, apathy. But the worst is, it's all about the money. Money, 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 money. If you don't have money, impossible to hire a lawyer. Because most of the lawyers, and judges are flat out liars because they love to quote precedent law, which is not a law. It's a precedent ruling. They refuse to enforce common sense, legally binding agreements like Forsyth County Judgment 08 SC 1345. It's all at Duncan claim, and I've already filed every single possible legal measure. So I've already done a writ of mandamus, and yet everyone, including Governor Brian Kemp, FBI Director J.C. Hacker, and Attorney General Chris Carr, and GBI Michael English. In fact, everyone has known this for now 14 years, and yet they all are playing the four-blinded monkey problem. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil means that nobody is addressing the terrorists, the Lucifers, the idol worshippers, including the churches, which is why I focused everything on Peachtree Road United Methodist Church, Oak Grove United Methodist Church. You can look them up in Atlanta. And it used to be Peachtree Corners Baptist Church and a little bit of Marietta First Baptist Church, where all these crimes occurred. Not only was I wiped out of my entire lifetime of assets, you had everything stolen from you, and you don't know it and recognize that you're being scammed and taxed and slave traded around the world. Reversed forever with Evote. Get it? Evote.one. I spelled it out. Evote.one reverses the human condition of all the maladies and vices and crimes and murderers and rapists and the piracy that's been occurring since 6,600 years ago, when the Egyptian pharaohs figured out how to take advantage of everyone. It's the old multi-level marketing Ponzi scheme. They threaten and kill and murder and steal everything, and then they claim, oh, we have to be your leaders. You must have a leader to tell you what to do. And that's why very few of you ever have any confidence. That's why the family structure is totally blown apart. And we provided all the solutions under the umbrella of FortuneONE.org, so that everyone will now join uNIocracy.org and actually support us. Support us. We ask for federal witness protection program at every single level, and from the corporate world and from the churches way back in the summer of 2011, because Robert D. Rose had hacked and cyber-tracked us and was threatening to kill us all the way back from January 15th, 2008. We have all the documents for it. We went back to the courts. We went back to talk to the lawyers. We went back to talk to everybody. And the FBI apparently is so ashamed and scared to death of congressional investigations that they and the Attorney General in Atlanta have criminally blacklisted us. So we blacklisted them. Stage mass protest rallies today and demand that the top-level people in the world, including President Biden, meet with us personally. All they got to do is call us up. We've never hidden anything because we've never done anything wrong. We've never violated anybody's rights. And that's the basics for this. So we'll close this out and publish this as 1198 Built by Keith on the very top of youtube.com/uNIocracy. Here's our most basic information of usnews1.org and our direct contact information. 1197, this is the most famous, persuasive solution in world history of uNIocracy.org. September 2nd, 2023, the top of Stone Mountain, famous for this one diagram of we control all leaders worldwide with no exceptions.